What's up guys? Wasn't expecting to make another iPhone update video so soon. I literally made one a few days ago and now something so crazy has happened. An actual real life prototype has leaked. So this is always exciting news because it doesn't happen often, but this is around the time when the more serious part leaks start coming out and we may have our very first look hands-on at the real potential design of the iPhone 8. But guys, before I get into that update, I just wanted to share something with you about the iPhone giveaway. A lot of people have been asking me what's going on with that. There are a few hours left to sign up. So if you guys haven't done that and you want a chance to win an iPhone 7 or 7 Plus in product red, you guys have just a few hours left to enter that giveaway. So the link will be down below in the description. And also I wanted to do something else just for this video specifically. Jet black AirPods. So believe it or not, I actually ordered some a long time ago and then Colorware sent me a version that they painted mine personally for me. So I completely forgot that I ordered them much earlier. So I have an extra brand new in the box version of the Jet Black on Jet Black AirPods that I'm giving away in this video. So like the video, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And tomorrow on the actual iPhone giveaway, I'm gonna announce winners for these. So this is about a $350 value, super cool. Trust me, I get a lot of compliments on them. If you guys wanna win this, again, like, comment, and subscribe on this video and I'll ship this out to you tomorrow. Anyways, so let's get into that update on the iPhone 8. This is courtesy of Vania Geskin. This guy actually messaged me about this earlier this morning, and he got his hands on the images of the potential iPhone 8 prototype. He didn't say from where, but looking at the license plates outside of the car, and some of the images, they're blue, and that's China, so this is most likely coming from China. So there are several images. In one of them, the iPhone has just come out of the CNC machine. You can definitely tell all the track marks from the machine, and it has a raised camera that is vertical on the rear. There isn't any sign of that fingerprint sensor that we talked about earlier in the other video, which everyone seemed to absolutely hate. But I wouldn't say it looks terrible other than the fact that it looks really, really chunky. But I guess we really can't have it both ways. Either you have a very sleek and thin device with bad battery life, or a huge battery and a slightly chunkier device, and this could be that result. Apple's finally realized, hey, we need to make the devices thicker to fit everything we need inside of it instead of making it thinner and thinner. In any case, it looks pretty legit, aside from the fact that this is actually very easy to reproduce. All you would need to do is machine out this chassis and then just put a couple layers of glass on the front and back, and voila, you have yourself an iPhone model that you got from Apple early. But let me know what you guys think. Is this legit or not? So there are a few key details that the leaker himself has released alongside these images that he's saying are going to be happening on the iPhone 8. But taking a closer look at these images, we can actually see that it's very similar to the schematic leak. It's got 4mm bezels all around, the dual vertical cameras, the front and rear 2.5D glass. It's just very, very barely sloped at the edges. But the reason I think this might not be legit is just because of how uneven it looks. There's no gentle crossover from the display to the body. It's kind of like a sharp drop off and then the body starts. It seems to me something that Apple wouldn't personally do. But then again, you know, we've had these kind of prototype leaks in the past and it was very, very true to what happened. And a lot of people think that it wouldn't be that specifically. So some of those key details that this leaker supposedly released alongside these images are that the finish is not going to be as shiny as visibly you can see in these images. It's going to be more of a jet polished black, very similar to the one on the Apple Watch. The actual material will be made out of stainless steel though, which is actually great news for durability. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about durability later on in this video, as it seems to be a lot of people are worried about that in this upcoming iPhone. But stainless steel, he confirms that Lightning connector is here to stay. It will not be USB-C as in the actual model that he has. It's cut out for a Lightning connector. Also, he says that the camera bump is going to remain. It's not going to be flush. In some concepts, I've seen a very flush look, and I gotta say it looks good. But if we want any sort of optical zoom or realistically really good camera sensor size, it has to be protruding still. We haven't really reached that stage, even though the Samsung Galaxy has, but I don't know, maybe in the next generation after that, I guess. And size-wise, the leaker says that it will be the same size about as an iPhone 7, which I must say is a very comfortable size to have the same sized phone, but a display that covers the entire portion of the display is literally a match made in heaven for me personally, as literally really the only reason I'm at the plus size, the 7 Plus, is because of the display, the high resolution. And although it isn't as comfortable as the smaller version, the display is much bigger. So now with the iPhone 8, I can have the best of both worlds. Anyways, he did also release these schematics, which alongside these images show what this thing will look like once it is ready to go with the display on it. And I gotta say, it looks absolutely beautiful. So it's a very clean schematic here, very similar to something Apple would do. The camera lens, I gotta say, man, I don't know what I think about that. It doesn't look terrible. At first, when I saw the dual lens on the iPhone 7 Plus in leaks, I also thought that didn't look that great, and here it is. You know, Apple, in the name of functionality, will still do it, even though it doesn't look that great. You know, vertical cameras still kind of make sense. The fact that Apple's putting the flash and microphone into it and kind of optimizing space on the back of the phone is also such an Apple thing to do. So I think that could certainly have some legitimacy to it. Now, taking our attention to the front of the schematic, it is a full face display, which is awesome. So it basically suggests that there will be a full display image on the display, which is absolutely awesome, except for the one break in the display, which is going to be the earpiece cutouts. So with an OLED display, like I said in my last video, that's possible. You can actually cut the pixels off literally in the middle of the display, as the OLEDs are individual pixels. They're not all on a back panel like an LCD is. So the schematic also shows underneath the OLED, there are sensors. There will be 2 cameras, some sensors under there, and using that technology that Apple patented, they can actually use a front-facing camera through the display. As ridiculous, as crazy as that sounds, it could actually be possible thanks to this patent that Apple was awarded. So gotta say, this will look awesome. And to show you what this thing will look like in real life, here's some actual concepts from Vania Geskin. So this is probably the closest to this that I've seen. You know, the power button is even elongated like shown in these concepts. The display is full except for that earpiece. It just looks awesome. If this was what the real thing looked like without that ugly fingerprint sensor on the back, man, I would so buy 10 of these. Not that I'm not going to anyways. But anyways, this thing is going to be sexy if that's what it looks like. Another look at this from another designer from Instagram. Can't really pronounce his name. So anyways, you can find him down below in the description. But his is a little closer. His is a little bit further away from these schematics, but still shows how it could look like with a flat camera on the back. And man, it looks awesome. If Apple could blend the display and body like that, I think it would be a very, very beautiful combo. Also notice how much sexier these phones look, or these concepts, without that ugly fingerprint sensor in the back. I mean, it would just be terrible if Apple did that. I think that would be such a cheap out on Apple's end to put a fingerprint sensor in the back. I mean, not only is it kind of uncomfortable to use, you'd only be able to use one certain finger on it, being your index finger, and especially on a plus size, not that there's going to be one, but if Apple were to do that, I think it would be kind of ridiculous. So in the comment section of the last video, a lot of people are telling me, literally like every other person, Apple should put the fingerprint sensor in the Apple logo. As cool of an idea as that is, it would be logistically very difficult to do. You know, it's a very rough size. It's not even like a circle or a square like a lot of phones do. So it'd be kind of difficult to put it in there. And I'm sure Apple could, but I don't know, comfort-wise, it kind of makes sense right there. Okay, I'll give it to you. It does sound kind of cool, but from a technological standpoint, it would be a little bit difficult to shape a sensor into this size here. And the actual leakers that showed us these schematics have pointed out that the circle shown in these schematics is possibly for wireless charging. So it might not even be a fingerprint sensor whatsoever. It might be the little circle that inductive charging goes through, since some of the prototypes Apple is testing, among like 10 or so rumored, is going to have an aluminum back. They need a way to get that energy through the casing. So with that little circle, they could possibly make that the connector for the pad, the wireless charging pad, something like that. So just an idea that might not even be a fingerprint sensor. Now I wanted to point out a personal theory, and let me know what you guys think down below in the description. So the power button on the new leaks and schematics of the iPhone is really long. It's about twice as long. Why would Apple do this? Why would Apple make the power button longer? Sure, it could be a little bit more comfortable to press, but it's still pretty comfortable on the same sized iPhone 7, which it's rumored to be in the same size region. So why would Apple do that? I personally think, and me and the Bro King actually thought of this first, that it could be the actual Touch ID sensor. Instead of putting into the display that Apple's having difficulty with right now, or that ugly circle on the back, why not put it somewhere you're always going to be touching? With your finger right here, you're always going to click, scan and unlock, and get in the phone right away. So this is totally possible. The Sony Xperia XZ has this working right now, and it works really great, really fast, just as fast as any other fingerprint sensor. So just an idea for you guys. That longer power button could actually be Apple's new Touch ID solution, in my opinion. So I think that's pretty awesome. I think it would be a really cool solution. So just the other day, I almost choked on my coffee when I saw this in the headlines. Apparently, our design that we rendered with the Bro King was suddenly news. It was a leak coming from a leaker on Weibo, and it was a shaky, sketchy rumor, they said, but still, apparently somebody took our design and put some Chinese lettering all over it and said it was a leak from the actual Foxconn employees that said this is going to be one of the potential chassis or designs for the iPhone 8. So it was just funny for us to see our model that we did of the leaked schematics be used as potential leaks. Anyways, just wanted to share that. Don't trust everything on the internet. And another concept I wanted to show you from Gabor, I think that's how you say it. This user actually went and showed what potentially iOS 11 could look like on the iPhone 8 design. And I gotta say, it's a pretty elegant solution. So a lot of the concepts we see don't really tackle the problem of the home button, and this guy's does. Basically, he replaces it with a physical circle looking home button as if it never really left. Just kind of an interesting concept. I'll link it down below in the description if you want a closer look at it, what using iOS 11 on the iPhone could look like. Anyways guys, there it is, basically what's going on with the iPhone 8 right now. Just wanted to share a couple interesting things with you as well as those concepts. Thanks for watching, guys. Again, if you guys want to win these jet black colorware modded AirPods, do like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and you guys have a chance to win those tomorrow. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.